everyone, my name is Desola. I'm a fashion designer and you are welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Daisy's Wardrobe. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an existing subscriber, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And if you've seen my videos before and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And put on the notification bell so that you know when I put up a new video. I'm an African-inspired ready-wear fashion designer based here in Lagos, Nigeria, and I've been in business for 10 years. And so here on my channel, I talk about fashion business, being a fashion designer, all things business, all things fashion, and sometimes I talk about my life. And so here in today's video, I'll be talking about my experience on how I started my boutique business. I have run a boutique business for the last 10 years here in Lagos, Nigeria. So like I said, I'm a fashion designer. I'm an African-inspired ready-wear fashion designer. And so here in my boutique, I sell all the designs that I make, and this is what I have done for the past 10 years. Over 10 years ago, before I started my boutique business, I worked in a corporate job, a 9 to 5 like most people call it. At that point in time, I wanted to transition into running my own business, and I was passionate about making clothes and selling clothes, and I decided to own a boutique of my own. The main reason why I started a boutique and not start selling my clothes from home like some people do was because I knew that if I sold from home, because then there wasn't a lot of social media where you work from home and then you market online. I didn't have that opportunity because I knew if I worked from home, I wouldn't get the quality of customers that I wanted. The quality of customers I wanted was very, very important to me, and I knew that I wouldn't get it running my business from home. So I decided to go out and rent a space. So before I started my boutique business, I worked in a corporate job, a 9 to 5 like most people call it, and had a lot of savings, and I intended to use the savings to start my boutique business. A few months before I started, I had some challenges which I had to attend to, and this took away some of my savings, and I didn't have as much to start my boutique business. So which meant that I had to start very, very small. And when I look back today, I'm so grateful that I started my boutique business in a very small way. Because when you start your business small and you gradually grow the business, you are able to learn a lot about the business and you're able to appreciate the business a lot more. My first boutique was a very, very small space, and all I had at that time was just money to pay the rent and the service charge that was required, which I did, but I didn't have the funds to do the renovations and set up the boutique the way a boutique is supposed to be set up. So I kept on working. I was working while I started the boutique, and even after I started the boutique and the boutique was running, I was still working because I needed to use the money I was making from my corporate job to finance my boutique business. Luckily for me, the boutique business took off and started doing very well gradually, and after a while I could leave my paid employment. I was in this space for about a year, and after 1 year I found another space that was in closer proximity, more accessible, and a lot more visible to customers. I moved into the new space, which was within the same building as my initial boutique. I was there for about 3 years. Business was very good. Business was doing very well. I was very, very happy. I felt really, really fulfilled. And I intended to keep that store and also open a second store in another location, which I did. And my reason for doing that was to capture new markets for my business and for my business to continue to grow more and more. I got another small space in my second location, which was very small, and I was in that space for just 2 years. when I had to shut it down because there were just so many issues, so many complicated issues, so many problems, so many everything that could go wrong in a business in this life went wrong. So I ran my business there for 2 years, and I left the place and I went back and I stayed with my one boutique that I ran continuously for quite a number of years before I finally made up my mind to move to where I am currently. So the reason why I had to close the business after 2 years was because there were just so many problems that I didn't see and didn't see the signs. I didn't check for certain things I was supposed to have checked for. I just found a space that was decent enough and the rent was okay, and I paid and I moved in. There were so many red flags that I didn't notice and I didn't pick up on. First of all, the building had no signage, and when I asked, they told me it was going to be done. They were in the process of doing it. In the 2 years that I was there was no signage on the building, so the building had no name whatsoever. And it also affected the address of the building and also affected my address of my business, because when people reach out to me from social media saying that they wanted to come to my store or my boutique, I had to be describing how to get there. There was no address, because even if I gave them an address and said the name of the building is called this, they couldn't find it because there was no signage. And then there was no individual signage for all the shops that were in that building. So we didn't have a signage outside the building saying that this business is within this premises. There was nothing like that. They asked me to pay for it when I joined the building and said that other tenants had paid for it. I also paid as well. It was never done. There was issues with parking. There was issues with electricity. There was issues with the service charge. The building was owing money to several agencies and the owner of the building. It was just a total mess. So I had to leave the building. I tried to move my store to another place, but I had some challenges, and all the other places I found were way too expensive, and I just had to call it quits. So I learned a lot in that 2 years of having my boutique in that building, and it also helps me going forward when I decided to get this place I'm in. It helps me a lot in making the right decision, because I didn't want to experience all the things I had experienced, all the negative things I had experienced in that 2 years. I didn't want to experience it again. So that brings me to say that, I'm going to put out a video on things that you need to look out for when you want to start a boutique business in Nigeria. So this is my short experience of how I started my boutique experience, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. This video is very short, and if you enjoyed watching it, please give me a thumbs up. It goes a long way in helping my channel. It goes a long way in pushing out this video to people that need to hear whatever it is that I'm saying in this video. So please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and put on the notification bell so that you will know when I put up a new video. And then I will see you soon. Bye.